to look a certain way to be loved. So yeah, that's just been coming up the past few days around my appearance and around, just needing to look a certain way to be loved, which is coming from my father. But yeah, I've just been feeling more compassion for him because, more compassion for myself and feeling more in my heart. And I'm just choosing to let it go now. Choosing to let it go. And a lot of disapproval from my family for my appearance, because family always used to comment, additional family. So yeah, just a lot of stuff's been coming up around my childhood coming to light for me to feel. And just I forgive my father and I just let it go now. Choose to let it go. So thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
And by letting go, you're healing your linear backwards. You're healing yourself, but you're also healing your whole family in a way. You're taking the step to take care of everyone's Ian.
It's like where's this coming from? Because my appearance keeps coming up, like regarding the way I like my weight and stuff. And I just realized it's coming from my father from when I was like 4 or 5. So yeah, I've seen it now where it's coming from. So yeah.
Once we see it, we can do something about it. And you're doing just the right thing, Ian. Letting it go like Jesse wrote.
Allowing it to be without allowing it to dominate.
Yeah, I've just noticed that's what stopped me from fully loving myself is the belief that I need to look a certain way to be loved, which is coming from my father. Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. And when you say letting it go, how does one do that? How do you do that?
Just been feeling the pain in my heart and just letting it go. And I don't really see my dad that often, but what I'm going to do is when I was a child, when I used to wear shorts and t-shirt, my dad used to really bully me, calling me chicken legs, girly arms, and he would really like torment me about my limbs. So it starts at home. So I would cover myself up. I wouldn't wear shorts or t-shirt. I like covered my whole body so my dad wouldn't comment. Start from a very young age. It starts at home, my body issues. So next time I see my dad, I'm going to wear shorts and t-shirt and just, for my inner child. Because I know he won't say anything now, but I think my inner child needs that. So when I see him, I'm just going to wear shorts and t-shirt and just, Might sound silly, but it's just my inner child needs it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think people were not sure. It can't be that easy to just let it go.
Mm.
People may believe or think or be stuck there, which that will be a reality.
Yeah.
And doing something like what you were choosing to do, another way of letting go for you to show up.
Yeah.
Say, here, look at me. And I only, and the letting go is looking at the other party. Just imagine what they were doing, thinking, going through. What it must be like now. As you said, he wouldn't say anything. It's just another way of letting go if we can't get it all the first time. But it's never just one formula. It's never just one time letting it all go. They're all entangled.
It's detaching from the control of others and reclaiming one's own self-control.
Mm. It's about reclaiming one's own power.
Yeah.
And I think compassion is the most powerful thing that we have. Choosing to be compassionate.
Compassionately, authentic.
And I'm just choosing, I'm choosing to let it go from me because the only person that it's affecting is me. And honestly, my dad was drunk most of the time, so he probably doesn't even remember saying it, you know. So.
Mm.
The only person you're hurting is yourself by holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
My unconscious mind has been holding on to it because it's a belief. But yeah.
Not seeing that there's another way, another option, but rather just fixed on that's the way that it is. And when we have another choice or see it another way, which means we go through it, it opens space for compassion. Letting it go, moving on. It's something new to a different story, different emotion.
being in the present, not the past.
Mm.
And one thing that I can say about my father is he gave me the gift of compassion, because if he hadn't have treated me that way and mocked me for my appearance, then I might not have the compassion I have got for others. Because feeling that made me more compassionate. So he gave me the gift of compassion by his mean words.
Exactly. The darkness brings out the true light.
Just also want to say congratulations to you, Ian, because you opened yourself enough to remember the memory.
Thanks, Ian. My word is authentically surrendering.
Mm.
To compassion, openness, and the love authentically.
I have another word that comes to mind with that, and that's integrity. As we open ourselves to being fully present, the integrity of what we are is available for us to express more authenticity.
I would just like to add, I have actually forgiven my dad a couple of years ago, I think, or 4 or 5 years ago. I actually said to my dad, I forgive you, and I give him a hug. You know, like when you see someone and you can feel the guilt in them, every time I saw my dad, I could feel guilt in him because obviously he knew that he wasn't the best father. So a few years ago, when I saw him, I gave him a hug and I told him I forgive him. And I could feel like the release coming from him. He needed to hear that. I feel now it's just seeing the unconscious beliefs and letting them go because I have forgiven my father. It's just letting go that the unconscious aspects, and then it's gone then completely.
And so if we sit around waiting for others to fix it, it never really does, because it's always in our control. It's always in our choice to resolve or work towards resolving. It's never up to anyone else. It was all just information, and it was how we took it. Which is when we become aware of later, like now, as we look back at it. And it is as close to changing it as we can get.
Just allow myself to feel it, like I've been allowing myself to feel the shame that's been coming up. Just need to allow myself to feel it, which I am doing. Holding, feel it, giving myself compassion, and just letting the little boy in me feel it, because I suppressed it.
Yes.
I got your back, Ian. And that's what comes up for me. I got your back. When you said letting go, it was really quite something, because my word for the day is surrendering. But the surrendering, not just with letting go of what was, but letting go of what is now. And that's very scary, to get into that knowing of new feelings that you can now create, because you have that power, and that you're not there, that little boy that you can nurture now, because that's you, right? And so no matter what you went through, you can come to this place and receive this now. what you're giving to yourself.
Mm.
With everything, with all the good things, you know, the self-acceptance, you know, the love, the compassion. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite it's, that's what it is, you know. So what I came yesterday with is the love and attachment. What is the difference? Love and attachment. What is the difference? The difference is that when you love with yourself, or you love with someone, I need you to be happy. Yeah, I need you to be happy. And if it includes me, great. And then you ask yourself, what's the attachment? And it says, you need to make me happy. Why can't you make me happy? What you do is not enough. Yeah. And when you love, it's other people's happiness that you're looking for. You know, it's you think about somebody else's happiness. You want to be there with them, happy with them. So, you know, we think about others' happiness. Yeah. That's what I said. In love, you think about others' happiness, and attachment, I wish my own happiness. There's a difference. And that attachment that you've just done now, now you're in love. You're rooted in love.
Mm.
And you create from your love. You create from you in your heart. Because now you know your heart. There's no self-rejection. There's nothing. It's just acceptance. This is very powerful. So thank you. That was very powerful. Yeah. Because that's what you just explained. You just explained it so beautifully. Letting go. Letting go. And when we say letting go, we're always trying to let go of something, right? But do we ever let go of the feeling that what we want, what we truly want? And then you decide that, and then you go, oh, that's it. And that's what you build on right there and then. So it's beautiful. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Nikki. Would you mind repeating your word again so I can capture it?
It was surrendering, but it was surrendering.
Thank you.
Yeah, surrendering.
Yes.
It's definitely surrendering. And it isn't easy to let go here. That's for sure. I mean, but when you get to a place where Ian is explaining, and it's like, yeah, I can let go, but now I can let go of also things that I thought would never be able to come to me. I would never be able to experience it. The love, the pure love I'm talking about. I'm talking pure love.
Yeah.
Like just being and knowing that you just like in the right place with the right people, you know, doing the right things. But even if, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. And that's what I really love about Ian's story now. Because that's actually what I've been going through my own self. And that's what's interesting. Very interesting.
For me, the more I'm loving myself, the more it's going.
Mm.
Because it's not been love for other people, it's been love for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So with my father, it's been loving myself because of the story, because of my childhood. It's always been loving myself. So the more I'm loving myself, the more it's going. The more I'm loving myself, the more I'm caring for myself, the more I'm nurturing myself. It's just slipping away. Because it's like breaking a change to the past by loving myself. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because that took me so far out of self-love, because it was my father. I was young, you know. I was made to feel like I need to look a certain way to be loved, but so I lost love for myself. But now I'm nurturing myself and bringing the love back to myself. Yeah, it's fading, and I'm just feeling it in my heart.
Mm.
Self-love, nurture myself, and that's all I need to do.
That's right. It's all any of us need to do.
That's the real work.
Mm-hmm. Realizing love.
Say that again.
Realizing love.
Oh my God, is it? Yeah.
Allowing
Yes.
that full vibration.
That's it.
We make small changes to ourselves and it makes big changes in our life.
Mm-hmm. Nice one, Hans.
For me, it's always been easy to love others, but loving myself has been a challenge. So yeah,
Mm.
love thyself.
Yeah.
Loving others has been easy, you know. Showing compassion to others has been a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
But giving it to myself has been a lot harder.
Mm.
Wow. Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Self-love was always a big challenge to me until I realized there's nothing to do with other than just being me. Being myself, and you love yourself.
Yeah. Yesterday I worked
Doesn't
out
matter,
and I did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm listening. What do you say, Hans?
doesn't matter what anybody else tells you or say.
Mm.
What do they know about you?
Amazing.
As long as you're
Yeah.
you are love.
Mm.
You're loving yourself, and just accepting that love, it's the tough one. Learn how to accept oneself or allow oneself to be, and because the world will often not try to let you allow yourself. Because who do you think you are? Are they gonna say, yeah, I'm me?
I'm starting to see that now. Like, what someone sees in me that they don't like, but nothing to do with me, they don't like that in themselves. So they need to do and do the work on
Very
themselves. They
legit.
need to look at themselves, you know.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
If I'm with someone and something I say triggers someone, that's nothing to do with me, it's just triggering something that they need to work on. They need to go off and look and think to themselves, why is that triggering me, and do the work? It's nothing to do with me. So I
Mm.
see that now. I
Mm.
see that it's nothing to do with me, it's never been nothing to do with me.
Mm. 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 But you can also ask the questions. I love that. You can also ask the questions, you know. When that happens, and how would you like it to be? You know? Because sometimes you never know till you ask. Maybe that person's triggered because it's just looking at something that knows within himself or herself, but it's scared, you know? So you reject it. Most people are scared. They're scared of the real, pure acceptance of who you want to be, but also the love that you give. So you must ask the question. Ask the questions. Like right now, ask the questions. You know?
Because they're afraid of looking at themselves by looking at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. As Alison said, we got layers, lots of layers here. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. And if it does, great. And maybe it will feel like it's overnight after 20, 25 years of waiting for something, okay? But it's that waiting of knowing that when it comes, you'll be ready. That's the preparation, yeah? So how can you love someone if you don't love yourself, right? This is a question we have to ask. We're asking for other people to give to us, but we're not giving it to ourselves. The forgiveness, for example. The forgiveness is a big one. I wrote something down yesterday and I am going to share it because I like it. That's what I'm choosing, right? Because we mentioned forgiveness. So forgiveness is up here. So here it goes, forgiveness. And I'm speaking it to myself, eh? Forgiveness is not forgetting, but you have the opportunity to forgive every time you remember. Just like Jessie said, we're not here on a one-time thing, because that's the thing. People let go of one night stand, one time, what must happen right now. No, it doesn't. You got to remember everything's working out for us here, the good and the bad, you know. Yesterday I had to take my dog to the doctor. She's legally blind. My little Shih Tzu. I mean, this is my dog I've had since a puppy, baby. So when I heard the news, she said it so, you know, like it was nothing. No, she's legally blind and blah, 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 blah. And she's talking so fast and so loud. I realized that, whoa, you are loud, eh? In my head, I was thinking this because I was observing this. I was thinking, wait a minute. And I asked her, wait a minute, excuse me, could you kindly just stop for a minute? And she stopped. I said, I haven't slept in 5 days because I've had to watch my Shih Tzu because she was having seizures, okay, all hours of the night. I had to lie with her. So my body is right now very sensitive of what you just said, that she's just legally blind. It could be assumption. Is that what is that the real, like, you know, how do you know that? You know what I mean? And how do you 100% know that she's legally blind? Firstly, is that your assumption now? Are you just saying it? Because you're saying it like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Immediately, it was like, wait a minute now. And she looked at me, and obviously she was tutoring another guy from London. His name was Paul. And so obviously she was teaching. It was like a teaching episode, yeah, you know? It was nothing personal. She wasn't like looking at me and this is like my dog here, it's my child. You know, she's looking at it like it's just something like a number. That's how I was feeling, you know? So I said, wait a minute. I know you're training. Okay, I know you're training. This is my child here you're talking about. Did you just verbalize she's legally blind? Okay. So let's just pause here for a second, right? And and that's what happened. She paused. And as I looked at Paul, it was just a real good balance, because he was very present with me. So I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I asked him a question, and then he looked at her to say if he can answer me, and she said, no, go ahead. And with his English accent, okay, blue eyes, had no hair, but who cares? Beautiful person, gorgeous. Because I was like, hello, you tell me. And he told me, yeah. And how he told me gave me the explanation, like he gave me the meaning. Because she was ramping about tumor and everything. Like I said, whoa. It's like, wow, is my dog gonna live? It went to such a, like, wait a minute, you know, I've got to take a breather. And when he explained it, and knowing that afterwards he had to come back with another trainer, because they're all training here. I don't know what's, yeah, but another person, for example, that was working there for 6 months. So she's new. And so they had to give her a pulse, like give her a blood, you know, blood work. And I had her on my lap. And I said, I can't put her on the floor now. You got to work on me, you know. She's very fragile at the moment. And so they did that. And he was just talking. And usually people just don't talk, you know. But I said, hey, what are you doing this weekend? To the girl. She said, oh, I don't know. What do you got to suggest? Like, you know, because I just came here for 6 months. I've just been here 6 months. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, there's lots of things to do. So she, oh yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. And I asked Paul. I said, wow, you know, it's my tomorrow I leave. I said, oh, and we spoke. And it was a beautiful way of realizing how beautiful it is to be present with someone. Because he said, oh, Nikki, wow, that was like, I really needed that. I go, oh, I needed that too, trust me. And then when I left and I was waiting for my car, he came out and said, I have a lunch break, but I just want to like say thank you, you know, and he's like, I really needed that. And that's not to say if evidence of what was said or what wasn't said. It was making and knowing that when that happens, you know, there's progress, you know, you just know. So there's no need to let somebody tell you that you're doing right. Or just like you must do more, for example. It doesn't matter, because when you really know this feeling of being truly in love with your life, with your words, with your thoughts, with your intentions, your motives, and everything speaks to you. And then you can just allow yourself to let it unfold. You surrender it to it. You just surrender it. Because it's a beautiful thing. Just do it. Like, it's just, I can receive this now. I can receive somebody for who they are. I just receive them. Yeah. I'm grateful to that. I'm grateful I can receive that. It's nothing than just feeling existence, having this existence, to be in your body, and being here and thinking, wow. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just, you just know now. And now that you know, you can do better. And even the people that have hurt you, even the people that especially don't hold, I won't say don't, but resentment is it's a very harsh thing to carry in your body. I'm just saying. But
It's very
resentment.
heavy.
Oh, yeah, please. You know, from my heart to yours, I'm just saying, resentment. Oh, no, please. Don't let that be in your body. Let it go, because you're just really causing lots of damage. Yeah, lots of damage. But that's all, you know, it's just, now you get to have fun. Yeah. Now you get to smile. Now you get to enjoy everything you do, no matter if they give me news that my dog is legally blind. But she is in well, and she knows that mommy's here and mommy loves her. Mommy takes good care of her. Yeah. As I'm speaking, she's come to me now and she's drinking water. How do you like that? Because she knows her way. She maybe have lost her sight, but she knows her way. Isn't that beautiful? So you know what's so beautiful about this is that even if she lost her sight, she found her water. She went to her water. She's drinking water now. Yeah. So that's
nose is her eyes.
yes, Bouncy's definitely Bouncy.
Maybe 80% nose, 20% eyes. Their eyesight ain't that important.
Yeah, but Bouncy's still trying to figure what's going on because she's very concerned. She doesn't really understand, like really, she's so protective over Rosie, but Rosie's in a whole different, she's in a whole different body. She really is. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's a totally new environment. It's only smell now.
So she's got to get it.
She does it a little bit slower, but she still walks the same way, even when you take her out.
She does. Yes, she does.
Exactly where to go. She knows when to turn, because that's the smell of Fifi. She peed right here yesterday. I remember that. She can follow the smells. Yeah, it's their telephone book. It's walking outside smelling.
Come. Yes. So what I wanted to say, you know, there's a thing that came to me. It's like, once you couldn't see and now you can see. You know what I mean? Once you were blind, but then you can see again. It's the beautiful thing to see that. It makes it maybe sound not making sense, but it is. It does make sense, trust me. Well, you didn't have to trust me. I'm trusting myself. That's when I say trust me, I'm saying trust myself. Because what I'm saying is I'm actually saying it to myself. You know what I mean? It's like, it's trust me, trust you, but trust. You know, because it is the trust. Yeah. It's just trust, you know. It's a big word, that also, hey? It gets flying away, fly away all over the place. But real true trust is when you really know that, yeah, you can trust yourself. You really can trust yourself.
When there's integrity in something, then there's trust, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you got it. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, yeah. I said, as I was saying, I'm scared, but I got my back. Do you know what I mean? I ain't scared. I'm scared, but I got my back. And I don't say I got my back. God's got my back. You know.
And you're connected to that.
Yeah, because every time you get to a place when you feel that it's like you can open. There's an open space. And then adversity comes in and wants to just rip it out of you. Like take your heart actually out of your chest. Because that's how it feels. And then you got to just go. You go, no. I've made, this. Just like you go through whatever you've gone through in your past, like Ian was sharing.
Mm.
And then you get to this place and you can like put your hand on your heart and say, I love you. And I forgive you. You know, and I trust you. And I can give you compassion. Because you're always thinking, did I say something? Was it right? Was it misunderstood? Because English is a big vocabulary. It's got big meanings to a lot of things, you know, words got a lot of meaning to a lot of things. People can say one word in one country and another word in another country, and it's completely different, the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Just switch the words around where one is in front of the other, and it has a totally different meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And get unattached, because you're not here to like the attachment, like that's what it is, you know.
Yeah, but like you love Rosie, then it's no attachment, it's love.
No, I love, but I'm not attached. I'm not attached to thinking of myself because, you know, I need her to be healthy or I need her to be happy. Then I'm okay. No. I need her to be healthy. There's the difference. Do you hear that? I need her to be healthy. I will do whatever it takes to keep her healthy and give her a good quality of life, because I don't know when she's going to go. Okay? This is every day. This is like in every hour. I don't know. But what I know is that she's going to have a quality good of life. And I've got the medication for her. And, I feed her. She's a patient. I feed her. And like a patient now. You see? But I can give of myself to her, not thinking she needs to give to me now, because I know I can give to her. She doesn't have to give to me, because when she died, and she did die and she came back, my friend was with me and I sat there, and when Ian talks about feelings, I asked for it. So I knew that it came for a reason, because I said, I want to really feel. Now I put myself out there, not to myself, that question. And I thought, whoa, now you're really putting me to the test. Not testing me in any way, but having to say, okay, now I'm going to let you feel that you really feel now. So I was sitting there and everything was fine. And she got a seizure. And then that was it. And the Korean says she's gone. She's just gone. And it was heartbreaking. And I just sat there and I looked at her, because Koreans are very grounded. And it's just very stable and calm person. Hold Rosie's head up. And then I looked at her and I just started to talk to Rosie. And I told her how I loved her, how she chose me, how I chose her, how like she's my girl, you know, my baby, you know, my dog. No, not even a dog, my child. Yeah. So I was sharing and I started crying. And I heard myself crying. In public, I just started crying. I didn't care. Who was walking past now. If they thought, what the hell's going on there? I didn't care. I just started crying. And I felt my heart, and I felt it. And I just said, okay, and I'm going to surrender everything to you now. And when I was saying that and I was really feeling it and I really could be present with it. And it was like when Ian said, you be present with it, it's very hard. It's very hard to go through any shame or hard feelings of hardness. Really hard, really hard. And
Like
you were
this
so hard
big
on
idea
yourself.
that it will-
Yeah. So when that happened, she came around and I was like, I looked at Karina and she looked at me and said, oh my goodness, Nikki, she's come alive. She's alive. So she was dead and she came alive. And that's what I feel now in my life. I was dead. I never felt. I was dead. I never felt nothing. I didn't allow myself to feel anything. I was numb. And now I feel alive. And Ian explained it beautifully. So I feel now that I can now surrender that, finally let it go. Because no one knows your life. And I'm not going to tell anything of anything because I've shared enough. This is not to open up wounds here and open up memories of things that have gone now. It's gone. I know now. I know what I need to know. So yeah, you have to die to it. You really have to die to it. And then you rebirth and you come alive. And it is a death cycle. This is a death that you experience with yourself. But when you come over, that's like Ebony says, like you go to the other side. You go to the other side. You're on the other side then. And that's the life. That's living. That's you birth to life. You birth you. You birth the real you, the real essence of who you are as spirit. Yeah. That's who you are. You're a creative spirit. And then everything starts making sense. And it just drops in, like you get the compassion, like Ian said, and you allow yourself to look at somebody that ridiculed and mocked and teased you, humiliated you. And I can relate to that too, because that's what happened to me. And it's not a victim, but it did happen. You can't deny that. You have to face that and say, okay, that's what happened. Yeah, you mess up. Okay, you mess up. You make a mistake. Okay, you make a mistake. So yeah, it's pure love what he's experiencing now, and it's pure love that he can also reflect it to others. As he's received it for himself, he can reflect it now. But he cannot reflect it if he did not give it to himself. And that's what I'm saying. And that's the journey that I speak for myself because but I'm speaking for everyone then. So that's really came to me now. That just came up right now. There's nothing I needed to write down or rehearse in my head or think, what am I going to say? Because that's what has always happened, that I used to think, oh, I've got to rehearse or I've got to know or this and that. But when this comes to a place when you can be here, present, there's nothing for you to do than just allow it to come up. If that makes sense. Because there's no rehearsal. You don't have to rehearse. You don't have to think. You don't even have to be anything. Just be here. And it will just come up. And that's it's a muscle. It's a new experience that once you didn't know something and then you get to know something. And then when you get to know something, everything else in you changes, and then everything around you changes. And then you go, wow, this is amazing. it's like just, you know, talk on the phone, walk with somebody, have a meal with somebody, laugh, talk, this, cry, you know, watch a movie, read, get on a session. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you to Ian. That was amazing.
Thank you for
That was
sharing.
powerful. Yeah, yeah. I actually didn't even know what I said, but I think it feels good. It makes me laugh. That's what makes me feel right now. It makes me smile and laugh. And I can feel it in my body and I can feel it. I'm relaxed, man. I'm cool. I'm relaxed. It's a beautiful feeling. That's when you know. That's when you know. That's in, yeah. Yeah.
So are you still
Wow.
fasting, Nikki?
Hmm?
Are you still fasting?
Yes. I felt to fast today again. Yesterday was so profound. Things were like I was just getting things download that it was like wow. And I could share it, but I will wait. I will see how I like to share that. But things came to me that I go, wow, very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna share. I will share one thing. I will share because it's funny. Because it's funny. I'm gonna share something funny. So yesterday, it came to me where my sister Debbie just sent me a message. You know, obviously, when I say obviously, Becky, my other sister must have told her because she texted me, and I thought, oh, okay. So with my dog, so she's giving me a whole diet and keto and all these things I must, you know. So why it felt that she sent it was because back in the day, when we used to, you know, it just conversation wise came up and she says to me, you know, Nikki, screaming and shouting is not normal. So I said to her, what do you mean? She said, well, you know, daddy and mommy scream and shout, but that's not normal. You do know that, right? So I said, really? She said, yes. Because let me tell you, I didn't go through one day with no screaming and shouting in my house. And that is the truth. I'm just saying, you know, you could be anywhere in the house and they'll scream. And you had to run, hey. It didn't come up to you and go, hi, no, scream. I mean, you just get shouted at. What you doing? You know, that loud. Yeah. It was very tense. I didn't realize how much tension that was for me. But I suppressed it, you see. So I listened to my other sister, Merle, and Merle used to just go into a room. That's how she coped with it. And she read. She was a reader. You know, I'm just saying, you know, the other ones went for a run. But I stayed. And unfortunately, when I say unfortunately, I screamed back. So yeah, I screamed back. And I realized and I visualized and I saw myself screaming back, like full on. And it was screaming back at me. And I'll go, yeah, right, let's go. Because you're not taking me down today. Yeah, you can be taking my mother down, you can be doing everything, but you're not going to be taking me down. So I was like ready. And I took some good hits, trust me, that I thought I was going to pass out, but I stood there. And that wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. It just wasn't normal to go through something like that. You know what I mean? And he, in his own right, felt the pain. He felt more pain than I could ever feel. Because my father condemned himself, punished himself for doing that. So I knew. And so why I say that is the shouting and screaming. It's not normal. Yeah? It's not normal to be shouted at. It's not normal to be, screaming. Not you can hear yourself and say, okay, I'm a little loud now, or I'm a little pitchy, or I'm a little this, or I'm a little that. So okay, cool. So how do I want to be spoken to? Because I've not been spoken. I haven't been spoken the way I wanted to be spoken to. And even now, today, and I realize the pattern, the men in my life, that kind of thing. And it's a pattern.
It's an old program.
Yeah, it was a pattern. And when I realized that it was yesterday, I could let go of the pattern and say, I don't need to scream and shout. I don't need to voice anything out. Yeah. I just can, yeah. It's quite profound. Like it's a beautiful thing, because this really set me back many, many, many times. And they got the victory, because they could then tell me and remind me, that I'm not, just remind me of my and then I go, yeah, you're right. And I agreed with it, you see, because I just thought, yeah, you're right. It is right. But then when I was saying right to that, I was condemning myself, and I punished myself. And that is the worst thing you can do to yourself. And I realized the pattern yesterday. And so just like Ian remembers about the memory of his father, now he can have and come to this place where he can know that he can, forgive and have compassion and have awareness of his father and the condition of his father, mentally, physically, emotionally. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for that yesterday when that happened. And it's just all the dots are just connected now. When he was speaking, it just connected. And now I said, how would I like to share my story? Because that's quite interesting, eh? Because it's very similar. If not, yeah. So I'm very grateful.
It's like that question we are asked here, what do you want?
Yeah. And that's what Craig said, he had to wait 60 years for that, because he never asked himself that question. I never asked how I want to be spoken to. How do I want to be treated? And then I realized that that's what it is now.
Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Sandrell.
Morning, Craig. Morning, Cindy.
Yeah, good morning.
Beautiful souls.
That was an interesting comment, Nikki.
What's that?
Well, yeah, the whole thing about it taking 60 years before you actually look at yourself.
Yeah. It was very, very like, wow, that was eye-opening for me yesterday when you said that.
Yeah. Because our whole society is built on the whole thing about conforming to outer authorities and fitting in and, you know, all that kind of stuff, having acceptable behavior, not behavior that's acceptable to yourself and your design, but behavior that's acceptable to your environment and the people around you.
Yes.
So we're kind of forced into others' values instead of even examining our own.
Yes. Thank you. Isn't that just precious? I just see a diamond. I see a diamond now. I just see a diamond, you know. I'm giving you the symbol because and that is like your truth. That is who you've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Well, that's my biggest takeaway, especially from the last 3 years of my life, is the importance of really getting to know your inner authority and the truth of it. You know, and this isn't about who you are. It's more about what you are.
There's it.
You know, we're all eternal souls who are here having a temporary experience in this earth realm. And we bring with us those values that we were sent with. Yeah, and it's about embodying those values in a physical existence, rather than taking on the ones that we find when we get here.
Yes. Thank you.
So the values are from the other side. You know, the real meaning is from the other side. The real truth is from the other side. And we've brought it with us.
We often work so hard to fit in that we go out of our own shape.
Right. It's that 3 Gs package that we were sent with: the gifts, the genius, and the greatness. And our job is to bring our unique 3 Gs into this earth realm reality in their fullness and embody them. You know, to live them out on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, you said it. That's it.
You know, and demonstrate an alternative. You know, demonstrate the alternative to the status quo.
Yes.
You know, I mean, isn't that what Jesus did?
Yes. But if you don't mind me saying what Ian said, and what Ian has demonstrated now was pure vulnerability. You know, he truly showed vulnerability. He truly showed his self and where he is and where he's been, you know. And it's such a beautiful place where he can say, this is where I've been, but this is where I am now, you know. And that awareness of letting go and receiving himself, and to be able to open to others, where others, you know, were great influence in our lives. When you're growing up, they have a lot of influence in your life. That's all. You only knew one person. It was my dad. That was my the first man I ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Hello there. And my mother was the only woman I ever met in the very first time in my life. Yeah.
Yes.
And there is a biological connection there. I mean, I'm tied to her. You know. So I come
well, you
with
spent
her,
9
and
months
she comes
inside
with
her
me.
body.
Yeah. 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 And she did not take care of herself.
Yeah.
That's the sad
Yeah.
part.
Well, and so
You
you
know?
learned that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She never went to a doctor. She never went to a doctor appointment. Who's pregnant don't go to doctor appointments. And she wondered why. A lot of things happened to me.
Yeah.
But you see, that's what I'm saying, is that the vulnerability of him sharing his story, it's everything, because then he can be true to himself. And
Yes.
he can trust himself no matter what the environment he comes in now, who has ever been in his life or is still coming into his life, right? Because he's only going to attract love now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's only going to attract people that are going to really be enjoyable to be around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he can say his no is his no, and he will say his yes is his yes, because he just knows what he wants.
Yes.
Right? And when people don't get that, then you see how emotionally where they are, because you know what they do? They just cut you off. You know what I mean? Emotionally, you've got to also emotionally mature in knowing that just because somebody's not doing what you want them not to do, then you see how they behave. Because the other will hold on and say, okay, I hear that, and we'll just wait it out, you know? Or do you just cut somebody off? Because when you don't give to somebody, especially in love, I'm just saying, you know, they react to that and then they ghost you, or they'll not talk to you. Yeah. And then you go, huh, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah. Because you can watch yourself how you talk to other people. You need to watch yourself how you talk to other people. You talk differently. Trust me. But when you truly come in and say, I'm coming from a place of love here, but I'm also coming from a place of my truth, not your truth, my truth. And so it's for me, right? So yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. But people don't want to hear the truth also. They don't want the truth. They want you to stay the way they can get benefits from you. You see, that's not love. You got to know that that's not love.
I reframe that.
Yeah.
People don't. Yeah, you said people don't want to hear the truth.
Not everyone wants.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that's actually accurate. What seems to me more accurate?
They do. Yeah.
People are scared.
Yes.
Of the truth.
Yes. Okay. There you go.
You know, it's not that they don't want to hear it. It's just that they're scared of it, right?
Yes, Craig.
There's a fear around it.
There's a fear.
Like if people knew Craig. Who I actually am,
yes,
they would freak out, right?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Would they freak out, or would the real them be saying, "Oh, that's what I'm looking for"?
Well,
that's what
some people will freak out. I just give you the example that I met a man many years ago who told me he was a walk-in. I never heard of such a thing. I did not freak out one bit. I was in curiosity. Now, a lot of people may freak out and have a defense against receiving the kind of awareness that you bring, only because it's so foreign to them. They have nothing to associate it to. But once the seeds, and you sow the seeds, once the seeds root in, at least they have a sense of something more that's real, because they've experienced it, because you've crossed their path. They may not be able to take the full dose of you, but still let your light shine. And when they get more curious
familiar,
about the light, familiar. Like that light didn't kill me. that like
Mm.
Yes.
really
Yes.
inspired something new,
Yes.
and then they become like instead of enraged, they become like positively incensed to go, ooh, that was something. I think I want a little more of that, please.
Yes. Thank you.
So
I want
you
a
know,
little bit of more of that. I want a little bit of
yeah,
more. I'm
it's
just
the yes
repeating
and.
that. The yes and I want more of that. I want more of this. Right. Yeah. Right now. I want more of this. Like right. Yeah. Right now. Yeah. This opening up. You know. This opening up and really like mindstorming each other. Yeah. And going in and like literally going in and saying, yeah, I'm knocking at your door now. I'm knocking at your heart. Yeah. Come open,
Yeah.
open now. Open. It's okay to open. It's okay to open, yeah? Because we're
Yeah.
all here to love. We're all here to love. Love is everless. It's just it's just like, oh wow. It's wow. That's
And
it.
because
It's just
it's different,
yeah.
it doesn't mean it's going to hurt you. But that's
Aim.
what we've been taught.
That's it. That's what I was taught. You
Like,
said it.
who is
You
Craig
said
gonna
it.
hurt? Who's he gonna
Yeah,
hurt?
no, are you kidding
No.
me? My brother. That's my brother, man. That's my other sibling from another mother. And I love saying that because it's the gospel. I love saying that. I really feel that. Like, it's so cool when I say that. It makes me so happy. It makes me like so innocent. Like, yeah, because I always wanted a brother. Honestly, I did want a brother. I had 4 sisters.
Wow. Aren't I lucky?
Yeah, I really wanted a brother. And it's like, yeah,
really
you're
am,
definitely my
Nikki.
brother. I know. Oh my God. I knew that from day one, but I had to just let you work me out a few, I have a little, brother and sisters, you know how we get in each other's hair.
Yep.
And we
So
get
this-
on each other's nerves. But you know what? It's not really about that. It's just like, yeah, I can resonate. I know this, and whatever. But now it's sweet. It's sweet because I know your heart. And it's like, yeah, when you say, oh, Nikki, really, honestly, you're excited? I go, yeah, I'm excited now. I can say, yes, I am excited.
I'm investigating a phenomena.
What's that mean?
I'm investigating something that's happening, and I don't want to frame what it is. I'm investigating a phenomena of a thought. And the thought is that fear, we like bunch all this stuff up under this spectrum of fear.
Come
And
on. It's...
I'm finding that fear is not fear.
Okay, Cindy, I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna jump in there because it says fear measures us by our inability. Yeah. Fear measures us by our inability, but love taps into God's ability. And I just feel that's what's coming out from you. Like, it's just so obvious what's coming out now.
Yeah. So like when I feel
Yes.
this thing that represents itself in me as fear, I'm investigating it as to, is this fear?
Yes.
Is it excitement? Is it courage? It's a feeling. It's a feeling. And a lot of these things is like to be afraid of my own courage.
Oh,
that's
wow.
silly. So like feel into fear and find out it is not fear. Is it, it's so fear's being dispelled. So it's not instantaneous because it happens in different venues and places and interactions. Because sometimes things happen and I'm excited and I know it's exciting and I know it's exhilaration and I know it's joy And I just want to be embraced in that. But when I experience things that I don't have in anticipation for, it's like a valley of fear. Take that label off. What is it? It's the rising of courage. It's the rising of newness. It's the rising of undefined anticipation.
Yeah.
In my life.
Can I stop there for a second?
Yes, sure.
Because that was just the thought that came to me as you were talking about this. It was this question. What happens when you take the label off of fear?
Right.
Wow.
What's left?
That's it.
What's left there? When you don't label it as fear?
What?
Energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Choices,
and that's all.
Choices, Craig. Craig, choices. We get to choose. Right there.
Yeah.
But I like
just a low frequency vibration that we have equated with something.
What if
like we've given it a label? We've given it an understanding.
It's all
and that
illusional.
understanding might not be accurate.
Yeah, it's illusional.
Yeah.
Right, Craig?
Well,
illusional. It's all fear is illusional. Yeah.
You know, it might be. But we know that it's made up.
What is the label?
It's an interpretation that was made up.
Oh, what is of fear? Can I just repeat that? What if take the label off? Yeah. What if you take the label
off?
What if you take the label off of fear? Wow, that's powerful. That's a really good question.
Yeah, it's a vibration that doesn't have a label.
Yeah.
And you can ask even why you fear. Why is this fear? You can ask what is making me fear here? What is there to fear? In that sense, you know. And then when you actually step out and you do it, you go, oh, that's what I was afraid of, you know? Yeah.
So what feeling does it induce? What feeling does that energy induce?
Safety.
Yeah, because it's a low frequency. It's a low frequency. It's a frequency of unawareness.
Oh, this is really good.
It's a frequency of shadow.
Yes.
Or of things hidden. You know, of uncertainty.
All those uns, that means it doesn't exist.
It's dark and it's heavy. But in general, that's the vibration of humanity, the collective of humanity right now. It's dark and heavy.
And by labeling it, we are giving it our own energy also.
Right.
So it just gets more dense and more heavy.
Well, yeah, it can. And then you give it a label like fear, and it gives that energy a power. Because there's a whole lot of associations that go with that word.
Wow. Yes.
Like this is an energy to be avoided, for example.
Oh.
That's part of our Earth realm training.
That is our Earth realm training, but we were told, fear thou not.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I think we can trust our fear now, because even when you feel that you need to do something that's really scary and you know you have to do it, you can actually trust the fear. because you trust yourself to say, I'll do it with fear now, you know? You know, I can be fearful. I can be fearful to open my mouth. I can be fearful to be able, you know, to do a lot of things. But then I say, okay, I'll do it with fear then, because that's what happens.
We treat
Because-
it like it's an entity unto itself.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. And you just say, yeah, you know. Just like you can say what you aren't, like what you're not and what you are, you know? Mm.
Yeah, it's just an energy that we've interpreted to mean something specific.
Yeah, because I choose love. I choose a sound mind, you know? Mm. No matter what the outcome is, you know what I mean, Craig, and you know, everybody when I'm speaking, but yeah. Because you know it's gonna come. No, either way, it's gonna come. And when it comes, you can say, okay, I got it now. Because sometimes we got to go around and around and around. But I said, well, you know, I thought, you know, with this whole cycle of just repeating on the shadow and the light and the shadow and the light, you know, when is it ever gonna? It's never gonna really. But what is important is that you get to the next level of consciousness, and then you can rise your frequency up and go, no. I see the pattern. I see the pattern. It's very important to see the pattern. And the pattern is very unconsciously. You don't even till it comes up. And then when it comes up, then you can address it. You see, but then you got to be in a place where you're really open and to receive what needs to be received when it's very uncomfortable. But then you know whatever is uncomfortable and it's really uncomfortable for your body, you can feel it. You just feel it. And then you go, okay, what is that I need to release? What do I need to let go of that? Because that's not helping my body. It's not making me feel the way I want to feel like I'm feeling now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like I'm centered now. I'm heart-centered. I'm listening. It's like, wow, this is like, this is just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just delicious, you know?
So I picked up 2 words,
Yes.
pattern. And when I first got on, I heard about 60, like not being aware till you're 60 and not looking at yourself till you're about 60. And I was thinking about that. So I distinctly remember being about 50 and feeling this surge of like not answering to any authority, not answering to anything outside of me. It was like breaking out of being a chick breaking out of a shell. But I also realized, like coming through to 60, you know, I still had the pattern of looking for answers outside of me. That pattern was still there. And but also what was happening at 60, what else has happened? Many people that I have looked up to as pillars, as influencers, they've died away. And so then it's like I'm standing there in the midst of my friends or associates of my same age, and it's saying like, where are the pillars? And it's look in the mirror. We are the pillars. So we no one to look to for the answers. So we must, in all geniusness, turn inside and truly seek truth. And that's where we find the embedded wisdom that we came here with. But we still must take off all of the layers that attributed to us getting and growing inside that eggshell. And so now here we are. There's no eggshell. There's no eggshell. There's no other pillars. We are the wisdom seekers in truth who want to convey the best we can to others and live it ourselves as we still shred some of those patterns that call us to be, what did you say, Craig? not to be who we are, but to come out as what we are. We are genius. We are genius. And to take on that mantle and feel that's like, when the prodigal son coming and feeling this new robe put on him. This robe has been here for us all the time.
Yes.
And it's only now, I know for me, that I'm like, yeah, this is my robe. Hey,
yeah,
I got something to share with you.
What are you, Cinderella?
What am I?
You have become wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You are wisdom now. That's what you are.
Yeah. And I accept that.
You know, you've become that pillar that you were talking about. Those people that you looked up to, you've become one.
Yes. Yes.
And you actually realize
it's an acceptance, right? It's an acceptance. Yeah. It's a walking in these shoes. I think I've shared before, I've been given many names more from a prophetic realm. I've been given Masheba, mother of the tribe. I've been given Ahavanor, which is mother of loving light. And it's like, wow, people saw in me spiritually what I had not looked at myself to really be. But I am Ahavanor. I am Masheba. Children of all ages, even of my age, come to me and consult and talk because I provide a space for them that I'm not their answer, but for them to feel and grow in their own wisdom, give them that space. I honor them in that space. I teach them how to honor themselves in that space. And if the conversation is 10 minutes because we could go there, fine. But if it takes hours upon hours, as long as they're willing to feel what they feel, to look at fear even, for example, and feel it as not being fear, for seeing it what it is. But sometimes, it's nice to have someone there taking that journey with you, like all of you are, we're taking this journey. We're taking it together, increasing awareness. So
it's an adventure.
It is. Isn't it fun? It's fun.
Yeah. Well, right now it feels like an adventure for me. And what Craig said about you, it's like, that's the obvious. But what's also beautiful about that is that because we can't see God, they see it in you. And that's when you get to really be the light, because there's nothing of the ego here. The ego is who we are and what we need. But when you get to be in this place right here, right now, it is incredible knowing that you can see God, because God is expressing himself through you. That's the power that we have right here on earth. So it's not you, but God in you that is allowing you to be where you need to be in your obedience, because you were obedient. It takes a lot of obedience. It's better than a sacrifice. It takes a lot of obedience. And you walk the journey, and you still continue walking the journey, but now in a place, like you said, you can hold others now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God expressing.
It's God expressing.
God expressing
in a human form. In human form. Isn't that just beautiful? As you. So you are not going to go away. You're still you. But when you allow that God in you, the wisdom of God, God says, you do not have, for you do not ask. Ask for wisdom. That's the first thing he says. Ask for wisdom. Ask for wisdom. David, the Psalms of David, King David, I think it's King David. Craig, you can help me.
Yes.
When he asked, he says, what can I give you? It's just, what can I give you? Anything. He gave him anything.
That was Solomon.
What he asked? Solomon said, I want wisdom. I want wisdom. So when the babies came, and there was mothers, 2 mothers, and the one mother didn't want to give the other baby up. Yeah. But then the other, yeah. And when he heard that mother was ready to give that baby up, he said, no, give it to the real mother. Hello there. Give it to the real mother. That's the mother. Give it. That's her child. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. And that's what Solomon asked. And that is why he can make now powerful. 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 That's powerful. Yeah. So for me, right here, right now, I'm experiencing not just power, but knowing what is possible. Yes.
Yep. The
What is
heart of
possible.
David, the wisdom of Solomon.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Wow.
The
That's
stories are in
beautiful.
there for a reason, you know.
Of course. We here for a reason. It's beautiful.
Yeah, in our generation, there's so many more of us, proportionally
Isn't
more
it?
of us,
Yeah.
who are actually understanding those.
Yeah. Everyone's
Those
waking
stories.
up. Yeah. Yeah. They're waking up. People are waking up. They're waking up. And you're right, Craig. You're right about that. You know, people, you know, want to hear. They do want to hear. They're just scared. You're right. You know, everyone, you know, when you think about when I say that, I look at it and everyone wants to be loved.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You mean how I've been living my life all these years is actually killing me? Pardon?
So I'm going to play with that people are waking up. I'm just playing with people are waking up. But I see in myself, really? I'm waking up. I'm waking up to the woke people.
Yes. You're doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm in the evolution.
Yeah, you're doing it now. You right here with us.
Yeah.
Just because we reached the 7th grade, we can't blame other people for being in the 2nd.
Exactly.
They're still waking up. They're just not as far awake as other people. There's always a difference where people are in their lives, how awake they become, but everybody is sort of waking up, the ones who are supposed to wake up, but it's not like, and everybody's awake.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's not everybody.
It's a process.
But I remember being a teenager and meeting a group. I'm starting to get these memories coming back to me, and meeting a group of so-called hippies. And they just flowed and functioned in love, man. It was just love. Today, if I would have gotten in a van, I would be so afraid that somebody's going to do wild things to me, right? But it was just, it's so much innocence. It was a full day. We hung out, me and my friends and these hippies. I mean, they had the flower power stuff on the van and all of this kind of stuff, you know? But they were really saying things that I felt more than I heard. And it was love. It was peace. So they were woke in a way that I gravitated to, but I really didn't know what it was that I wasn't at the time.
All those great groups, they have been, what do you call it? been infiltrated and corrupted by other people who had a different view on it. So no one dares do it today. It's we've been taught, be afraid of that, be afraid of that. It's the fear policy.
Yes.
So they corrupted everything that was good, sure, because they didn't want us to walk around peace, love, and happiness.
Yeah, I know I'm interrupting now, but what came to me now is just to have to know that what was done to us, as you know, to you, to me, what is done to us, because all come through a childhood right now, because I don't want to focus it on me now. I'm just going to talk as general. That the experience that you experienced was really base fear. But when you get to a place where you know that when you're making new decisions now and new understandings, that what you experienced before, you're not going to experience again. And I think this is very important to really acknowledge and tell yourself, your inner child, your unconscious, your higher self, everything of who, that this is now going to be different because you're choosing difference. You're choosing to be different, not because you want to be different. You are going to experience things differently. You're not going to experience what you experienced in the past. So and then you can go into, in every field and everywhere, and you can just know that it's going to be a new experience because you are new. You have let go of the old, but the new is the new of experiencing what you want to experience now, and that you don't have to be afraid because it's not going to be like it was. The heartbroken, you know what I mean? Yeah. Ridiculed, judge, whatever horrible things, all the horrible things you can think about. You know that it's not going to happen again. Follow. It's going to be new experiences. And when you're having now this experience, what I'm having now, this is what you can say, there's progress. You follow. Because it's happening right now to me. It's happening right now to you. We all just letting love in. That's what we're doing. Not just for ourselves, but for others. And that's what we're doing here. And it's the love that keeps us together when we're a little bit off balance. It's love that brings us in neutral again and say, it's okay. You see that? Okay. Take that step now. One step at a time, man. Because it's now, in this now moment, to just allow yourself to feel that newness, isn't it? The new ideas that we've brought up now, the new things that we've let go of, the new things that we can open up to, the new things of experiencing to one another. And there's nothing than just saying, yeah, that is, to me, that's truth. That's true. Because I'm feeling it now and I've released it. My body has released it. So I know I'm in a new place. I'm in a new space. And you maybe be the same person that you were yesterday, but you're new to me today. And I get to experience you all over again. Wow. And to me, that is my absolute place I want to be. I want to experience you every single day, new. And I want to grow. I want to grow into that because that is what I'm choosing. And you get me to be that every morning. So thank you for the new. In surrendering my old and bringing into the new, because this is new. No matter what I experience from here onwards, I know that it's new. I'm not carrying the old anymore. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to add a comment to the word pattern that Cinderell brought up. And it's no secret to any of you that the last 3 years I've been working my way through a survival pattern that was established when I was extremely young. And it's one of those fight, flight, freeze patterns. The pattern that I got stuck in was around freezing and paralysis. And that's from experiencing a violent death when I was 2 years old. And so, especially over the last 3 years, that all of that cycle has come to fruition. And the thing that I realize now is that up until recently, I couldn't allow that survival pattern to actually complete itself through my physiology and my body. And especially over the last year, there's been a huge release of that. And a sense that it's completing its cycle finally after many decades. And so to me, it's not so much about actually letting go of it, but more about allowing it to complete, allowing it to run its course through my system without resisting it running its course, if that makes any sense. And so it's interesting. It was the end of September of last year when I was evicted from the house I owned by a divorce court judge, and basically left homeless and penniless to try to put things together. And so this year has been very interesting. And I also mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I'd kind of been reliving that whole process again a year later. So the last few weeks have been really interesting for me. And just looking at the growth that I've experienced through this whole thing and being able to share it. So interesting thing, Cinderell. That whole experience has made me wisdom. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the pleasant things about it. I appreciate the agonizing things about it. All of them, I believe, were necessary in order to get to where I am. And I just want to thank you all for sharing in this life experience with me and validating it for me by listening and by finding your own value in what I've shared. I don't know what else to say other than that I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Craig. That was beautiful.
From the start to the end.
That was
And
beautiful.
jump in at the end and get the whole point of the movie.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
I feel like I've witnessed so much just in your last sharing. I'm hearing you. I'm feeling like I'm where you are as you're speaking, like being stuck in a pattern and letting yourself sit in that place where you're stuck. But but the courage to, and the awareness of seeing yourself on the other side of that stucknicity, and really, like, by coming here and other things that you have allowed to open yourself up to, of coming through, and sometimes just sitting with that pain in that cycle of, like, kicked out of my house, right?
Yeah.
And what is all of that? Like, what, I mean, like, there's papers there that I don't even know what they are, that are mine. There's, there was the toil of, and the joy and the accomplishment of getting the house, and, the purpose and the love and the exhilaration of acquiring it and having someone to share it with. It's like all of that, and then, mixed in with, like, rocks of disappointment, and then you're kicked out of the house with, like, all of this muddy, rocky stew, as if everything that you put into it was garbage and trash.
Yeah.
And you're in that ball that's kicked out. It's like, what the what?
Yeah.
And the garbage man's not going to come and pick you up and move you, right? There's nobody on the chariot coming by to save you. It's like, what? There's no depth. There's no bottom. You fall, and it's just like, it's the state of falling. You're just, what? A clump of, is this how the world has spit me out? Is this how love has spit me out? And then taking accountability for that hurts too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, what was I thinking? What didn't I know? How did I get here? Oh, don't even answer that. It just hurts too much right now. It hurts.
Yeah.
It just,
Well, thinking made it worse.
yes.
Quite frankly.
Yes.
Because how
Yeah.
you agonize around something that's so absurd. You can't for a million years figure it out because it's just that absurd. Yeah, I had to quit doing that.
It's absurd. It is absurd. But to think of it, it's like unfamiliar stuff too. It's a lot. I've, it's like being on a roller, what is it? Going into the tunnel of love and getting stuck. And then it becomes, what is it? The haunted house and a roller coaster that you didn't buy a ticket for, all at the same time. You're like, and then the person that you're sitting next to is provocating the whole advent and participating in everything that you don't want to experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want you to know I get it, and I'm so proud of you. Let me love you for coming through. Let me honor you for sitting in that pain and still having hope when you had no hope. Let me hug you and say, hurrah. Let you see all the people who have been standing at the end of the marathon saying, yay, come on, you can do it. You're dragging in your sneakers, but you're coming through because you know that the alternative is not the alternative that's for you.
Wow, that's
Came
beautiful.
through. Do you see the flags, the victories and the waves? All of us cheering, saying you've been brave. You was brave in fear. You was brave and unknowing. You was brave without even trusting trust or anything else but the alternative of life and the spirit and the thrust and the spirit of divinity and wisdom. It's there. And all of that muck and mire that was thrown out on the sidewalk, on the curb, and the disappointment and the deceit, You ran it off.
Beautiful.
You pained it off. You
Mm.
cried it off.
Mm.
Even when the tears wouldn't come out, the tears were going inside and drowning you. Because who would even see the tears or wipe them from your face? Who? The who is the what you are. Is you. Oh, look at you. Look at
Yeah,
you,
the
you
God.
fella. Look at you, you brave. And
Very
not even
brave.
seeking honor, not even in these
Yeah.
days, because you're still enjoying to be brave, to be a baby, even at this stage, because you're
Wow.
at a new mountain, at a new height.
Yeah.
And the mountain you're on today is not even the limitation to say what you're about, because you'll run
Yeah.
down that hill and up the next one now, because you're stronger, you're wiser, and you will lead others and say, look, there is a path. It's not smooth. It is a path, but you will come to know you as I have come to know me. And there is no limit to me or you, but I had to walk it through.
That's right.
And now look at us here on another tier, another mountain. And we look back over the horizon and see the peaks of the mountains, and we see others coming through, and we could echo back to them and say, come on,
Oh,
come
hallelujah.
on,
Thank you.
come on, come on. For those that were at the end of the marathon that cheered us when we came through that soot, we're now a cheerer of others too.
That's
and
right.
God has so much.
Thank you.
Hallelujah to you. Congratulations, Craig.
It is. It is a hallelujah. It is a hallelujah. It's a celebration of how far you've come, you know, and it's still victory. There's so much victory there, you know, there's so much. And your tender heart, you know, it's it's just been so inviting, you know. Yeah. And even when it's like, it's just beautiful.
Uh-oh, I got a little song. What is it? Anybody know this one? I love to love you, baby.
Yeah, I love you, baby.
You know that?
Yes.
I love to love you, Craig.
Yeah, I love to love you, Craig. It's a beautiful song, that. But when you say mother of tribes and mother and all that, I just want to go back to the mother thing quickly, just very quickly. My mother passed away today. That was 7 years ago. Yeah, my mother, Shirley, passed away today. It's 7 years ago. And
7.
And my mother's favorite number was 7. Yeah.
Wow.
Because my mother's number, she called it the lucky number, was 7. So today's the 7th, and she died on the 7th. And talking about mother is very interesting, because where came with all having to acknowledge about everything that I'm trying to, just being and knowing how I want to be, you know, and not what my mother wanted me to be, because this is what happened, you know. And unconsciously I took habits from my mother then, because so and it was very destructive, but unconsciously didn't know it till I acknowledge now the pattern that I've been carrying, this wound for a long time, and it's created a lot of pain in my life, a lot of pain. And so I came to realize that, you know, I will have pain. Pain is inevitable. It's going to happen. Things are going to happen. But I can now have to know that, you know, I can be in that pain, knowing that I can trust this. I can trust it, because it's going to tell me something. It's going to teach me something. It's going to allow me to be where I need to be, where I need to go. Yeah. So it's very interesting that what came up now. And I just love how you loved on Craig now, Cindy. It was wonderful to hear it. It's like a mother loving on my sister, and hearing, I've never heard that. I never heard my mother ever speaking to other siblings that were in the room the way you spoke to Craig. And my mother was a loving woman. I mean, you know, my mother loved. It was not she wasn't, hard. Like, she had a, how do you say? Like, she was just very fearful and scared. And she just
She loved
didn't
the
know
best
how
way
to.
she knew how to.
Yeah, she knew how to love the best way. But having to hear other people speak over other people like that, not everybody hears that. Yeah. But they never grew up with that. You know what I'm saying? They only heard criticism. You're not measuring up. You're not enough. You've got to suppress your feeling. Don't feel. You just had to be a robot. You had to numb to your feelings. You had to numb everything. You had to numb how you feel, how you want it. You just had to numb it, and you had to obey also. And what's beautiful about the obedience is that you can command now what you're choosing, because it takes that authority, and you have that authority now.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is good. It's really a good place to be. It's a very good place to be. And like Ian also taking authority over his life now, taking responsibility, accountability. But he also had to go through the feeling of feeling uncomfortable and shame and sad and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because till you get to that place, then you will understand what you're choosing. Because, like I said, suffering is optional. Yeah? Pain is inevitable. We're going to go through pain. We're going to go through pain. Yeah?
You said something, though, that I had to recognize. Trust the pain.
Trust the pain. There's it. Trust the pain. And in the pain, I actually thought, how can it be your friend? But it actually can be. Yeah, that's really what really was surprising for me.
Trust the pain.
Because I used to run away from pain.
Awkwardness.
The awkwardness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
change your relationship with pain.
Change your relationship with pain. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing the last 6 months.
Yeah, and it's
like,
shown.
okay, this is showing me something. Like, about 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic pain syndrome, which is like pain that just won't go away. And so I've had a very interesting relationship with pain.
Wow.
The last 15 or 20 years. And, some of it's kind of been coming up the last few weeks again, too, which is all part and parcel of what I was communicating about earlier. But the interesting thing is that all of this chronic pain has made me very sensitive to it, and also insensitive to it, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
so
it does.
I've tried a lot of things. Like I tried denying that I was in pain, and that really didn't do too much. I tried distracting myself from it, like about 1,001 different methods of trying to work around it and keep it going, or to keep going, period, while being in the middle of that. And the best kind of solution to that for me has been to just sit with it and talk to it and let it tell me what it wants to say. And that's kind of a different approach. That doesn't mean I still don't pop a Tylenol every once in a while, because I do. But yeah, my relationship with pain is different and growing.
By allowing the pain, you're not suffering from it, because you have your focus on what does it want instead of Why
Yeah.
is it there? It's
Yeah,
two
yeah.
different questions. Why and what?
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of the ways that your body speaks to you. Lets you know what's going on. And you know, it can mean a sharp thing like, yes, pull your hand away from that burner, please. You know. But it also has to do with, you know, there's correct ways for me to interact with what's happening, for my body to interact with what's happening. So, you know, part of that is finding my own inner truth too, my own inner authority as well. So it's been very helpful in that vein. You know, and I really, really appreciate the times where I'm calm and painless.
I have a dear friend who also lives with chronic pain. When she stays with me, I hear her moanings and groanings, like not just through the night, but in the day too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that you've learned different ways to embrace your experience that you're having with this
Yeah.
thing labeled pain. On another track, I'm like, you know, I've heard that, you know, pain is an expression of, and you said it, of your body telling you something. So you're learning to learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, to be honest, yeah, to be
Mhm.
honest, that's how I came up with this whole thing about realizing that my whole body was a sensory device that just senses energy. Like I can tell what quality of energy it is. Like when I walk into a room, I listen to my body sensing, and it'll tell me there's dark energy here. This is where it is. You know, there's something there. It also tell, you know, like it'll just tell me what energies are. I mean, that works with the planets that are transiting and everything. I don't think I would have known that had I not experienced it this way.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of a superpower.
It is a superpower, but it's all new, knowing that it wasn't new because you always knew it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's always been you. You've always been you. You are now relating to that now and allowing yourself to just follow through with that now. And it's just beautiful to witness. And now you get to say, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's not just in my awareness, but it's also in my toolbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what you chose for. You said a couple of months. I don't know when it was, but I really heard that when you said that, you know, that you want it in your reality. You don't want it in your sort of in your head or dreams or whatever. You want it here in your reality. You want to live it.
Yeah.
And you are. You know? It's like, yeah. Placing your power where your power is needed, you know, not wasting your power. And that's where you get very selective. It's nothing personal. You get very selective. That's all. Because you're so sensitive to even sound, and you're sensitive to things, you know, taste, and everything start, your six senses start changing. You taste things differently now. You see things differently. You hear things differently. You feel things differently. And it's new and it's exciting because, yeah. That's where you become you. And then God working through you. It's God in human form. This is what it is. We are God in human form here. And when you know that is when you know you're in your heart. Yeah. And it's okay to be scared, and it's also okay to be happy. You know what I mean? It's either way, it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know? You can be, yeah. You know you're in pain, but you know you can heal. And so that's where you get to experience your healing. And you get to exercise it. Mm. Mm.
It's like your pain has become your superpower of being this conduit.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Today's message for me was October the 17th. I write it down on 2023. Sometimes the best advice comes from within. You know what you need, you know what you want, and you know what you deserve. Listen to your inner voice and trust what you feel.
Yeah, I got to throw this in too. That has a lot to do with the difference between who I am and what I am.
Yes, exactly.
That you know, that pain and that violence experience and all that kind of thing. You know, I came to realize this a few weeks ago, but you know, I'm actually a portal. I'm actually a portal through which divine energy comes to Earth.
I get that. And
Like not the channeler, not the messenger, the actual portal.
Yeah.
The whole between time and space and the other dimensions and the higher dimensions and the celestial realm. Yeah, the portal. And the gate was closed, but now it's opening. Yeah. Little bits and pieces were leaking through, but now it's like, yeah. The gate had a key on it. And yeah, and the key was found and lived through. So now that portal is open.
And as the portal opens, we start to realize ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the love and wisdom.
I mean, the truth has always been that, you know, each one of us are permanently connected to the other side, even though we're in this earth realm and having this earth experience. We're all connected to the other side. You know, it's like part of our soul is on the other side and part of it's here. Kind of like it's split. And yeah, what I've come to realize is that whole connection is like opening up into a super highway. And it's human beings that are the lanes of the superhighway. You know, I'm not the only portal on the planet, by no means. You know, I've just discovered that I am one. And I would suggest that each one of you are too, whether you realize it or not.
God can work in anybody, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's where I like when, you know, just to having to understand the polarity of knowing when you get somewhere that you're still going to be yourself. You're still going to be you, you know, you don't change. And this is why a lot of people are afraid of letting go of that, because who would they be then? And that is the truth. Who would they be? Because they've lived their lives like that for so many years. And if you've lived in the survival mode, it's very hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
So yeah,
this is like living your life as a totally different person.
Oh, a totally different person. But you still, but you're still Craig. But you're still Craig.
Well, yeah, but it's like that.
But you're different.
That persona that I'd taken years to create does not really matter anymore.
Yeah, and that just gives the whole aspect.
You know,
the whole
it's of no real value anymore.
Yeah.
Often when you ask a person, who are you? Then they'll say, I'm a mechanic. It's not who you are.
Yeah, I always say it's not what you do, is who you are. That's what I say. It's not what you do, it's who you are. Because people are only like labeling, like Hans says. That's so true. Yeah, I'm a head, I'm a this, I'm a that. Yeah, really? Okay. Thanks. That's what you do. It's not who you are. We get stuck on what we do. Yeah, then who you are. And I think the doing part is trying to do something that is not there to have any influence, because you're not being who you are. You're just being a doer. And that's why we weren't doers. We weren't human doers. We were human beings. Being. Yeah. A portal for others to come and say, here's the possibility. There is another way. I've been there. I've done that. I understand. I can resonate. Because you've got to resonate with people's pain. Hey, don't overlook people's pain. Pain is pain. Your pain and my pain is just as equally. Your pain is your pain because it happened to you and it was the worst thing that happened to you. My pain is my pain. What I went through was the worst thing that could happen to me. You cannot compare each other's pain. You know?
No.
So you got to acknowledge, and that's the beautiful part where you give the possibility to say, I got another way. There is another way. Because you are the way. You are the truth. You are the light. And you've demonstrated
my
that.
My pain has specific meaning only to me.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not going to mean the same thing to anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. It's beautiful, Greg.
You know, I can try to describe it to my doctor, but
no,
it doesn't mean anything to my doctor.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know.
But it means a lot to us in Cindy and Hans. Trust me. And everybody else that's listening. Yeah, absolute. There's no question. There's no question.
So my battery's going dead. And so
yeah, I'm also going to
before you go, there's something I got to put out there. In fact, I got this inkling about a half an hour ago and I didn't speak out about it. And I see Jesse's gone now, and it would have been nice if you would have heard what I have to say. But for some reason or other, I got drawn to a 3-day seminar this last week about visibility, about making yourself and your message and all that kind of stuff visible. And this lady has weaseled her way into every news and publishing outlet in the world, basically, and has put together a program that is set up to teach people how to do the same thing. You know, it's how to get exposure about what you're doing. And I'm thinking that this group that, you know, we've met it's almost a year now since we started meeting. And I think it's time for visibility for us. So I really want to dive into this program, but I need a sponsor to do it. So I'm putting that out to you guys, anybody that, and I'll bring it up again tomorrow too. But it's only, it's a 6-month program and it's only $3,000 bucks. But I don't have $3,000 bucks to spend right now. And, but the thing is, we could publicize, you know, everybody that participates in this group. Because you guys know I've been a media professional for over 40 years, and like that's kind of my thing anyway. But just to take advantage of somebody who's got this kind of pull with publishers and, you know, and outlets, and that includes things like podcasts and other stuff too, right? So yeah, so I'm just putting that out there. If anybody wants to, if anybody thinks that's something, well, no, don't think about it. It's like, you'll know intuitively if that's a good idea for you and to help with, because, you know, when I participate in stuff, as you know, I share it with everybody I'm involved with. So that's kind of the idea behind it. So I'm just putting that out there.
Amen. This is a personal thing for me because it's
Okay.
big. This, what you just said is big. And it has
You're about to
something that
walk into
nothing really to do with you. It's just that I realized a resistance came up in me, like, ooh.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
checking myself, you know, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like-
well, visibility, being visible about what you are and who you are is one of those high fear things, you know.
Yeah, it has been for me. And it's been one of my
So it's no
stop
surprise that comes out like that. But see, the thing is, see what I'm saying though is that I'm willing to be a visible one. And the thing is, as that unfolds, the thing is, the same thing's going to unfold for everybody in this group, right? So, but when you're ready, so.
Yeah, but even this space, this place, because if any of you know some of my history, is like I had no voice expressed for years. Like I couldn't talk, I couldn't feel, I couldn't like when you express that that stuckness of not even able to go to sit with the pain because it was painful to sit with the pain. Yours may be coming out in your physical pain, but mine was in my voice. It's like my throat was like blocked, suppressed.
Yep.
So this platform has allowed me to explore the experience of what's in me and to give it voice.
Yes.
So, you know, this platform, like it's like, I don't care how I come out, except that I come out in the resignation of truth that resides in me at whatever stage that's at. And here we've been able to do that with, you know, gleaning in with one another, dissecting statements or words.
Yep.
You know, listening and feeling without whole soul, heart, mind, and strength, and having courage to question and dissect and redirect and plant seeds and shoo some away, look at the wobbles and know that those wobbles are still okay.
How many other people out there do you think are have that same that thing that you have, where it's just your throat just crunches up like that?
Absolutely. And
Yeah. So how
I'm in
many
a
people need
project.
this kind of an experience, right?
Yeah. And I'm trying to get this on paper now to share with others, to
Yeah.
Allison is like, Sindrell, the anthology. And like, I'm like, okay, that's like another grind in the when your cylinders have to grind, it's like another click, click. So I'm like, I'm feeling into that. And then you come up with this. I'm like, yeah, the challenge, Can we put some oil in that? So
That's right.
It's funny,
Yeah.
even for me to say, God help me, he's helping me, right? He's helping
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Turn the gear, I'm putting oil in the gear, Sindrell. Crank, go.
Yeah.
And I'm preparing, I'm getting ready to go as well. I'm going to my church that I have not been to in like 8 years.
Yeah.
It's been calling me for about 6 months and I've been ignoring it.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Is it a rowdy one?
No,
Not so much.
it's just something that I need to do. I need to face it's like going back to your old neighborhood. It's not, I don't have to live there. But I do need to go back there and let whatever comes up, comes up.
Now, what's coming up is something that we're all going to leave now, but I would like to say what she lost was painful, but what God's promised her is powerful. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I'm breathing on that. I'm breathing.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just asking the question because when I was with the Jesus people, I was in an all-black Holy Spirit Baptist church in Denver, Colorado.
Oh my!
And holy crap, did that place rock!
Oh
it was fun. I never had that much fun in church in my life.
Yeah, it's amazing. Me too. Me too.
So that's why I wondered if it was rowdy.
Well, this place has the propensity of rocking.
Well,
but
there
I
you
don't
go.
know if the current presider has that spirit there.
Yeah.
But like I'm going to commune with God in a place to experience that portal, regardless of where I am or any other energies around. I have my purpose and intention.
There's your power.
If we get to rocking, I can rock with the best of them. But if we don't, I still intend to get what God has for me in that place. Whatever it is. It might be pain. I don't know. But whatever it is if it's Goliath, I'm going to face it.
Yeah, it's working for you.
Yeah.
I love you guys, girls. I have to cut off now because I need to go. But thank you. Blessings. Bye, hon.
Yeah, him too.
Bye.
Yeah.
So anyways,
bye.
remember the invitation, and I'll post something in the messenger thread too.
Oh, that's awesome.
About that. Yeah, because it would be really awesome, and it would take us to the next level. So
okay.
Alrighty. Bye-bye for now.
Love and hug, everybody.
Love and hug. Peace.